What is going on, Swoopers? Welcome back to another episode of Swoop Luke. In this episode, we'll be previewing today's clash against Port Adelaide. Let's get into it. Before we do jump straight into it, I do have some limited edition Jamie Elliott cool walk-off tees that I've teamed up with GM Photos and the Carlton Draft About. The links will be down below. All my Swoop Luke merch as well. Got this awesome new mic from my brother and his girlfriend for my 30th birthday. You can see the branding on there. That's really freaking cool. But let's get into this very, very late preview, and I apologize for that, but let's get into it. So today at the MCG, on a beautiful freaking day, Collingwood take on Port Adelaide in what hopes to become their 10th straight win of the season. Now, it's unprecedented. Like, when we lost to the Bulldogs, I think we got pumped by like 50 or something points. We were like sitting 11th on the ladder or something like that, and you're going, okay, that's okay, this is a learning period for us, and then bang, we've won 9 straight. Now, Port Adelaide started 0-5 this year, but they are not easy pushovers. I think since that 0-5 start, they've gone 8-3. They're pretty much one of the form teams in the competition, albeit they've lost their last couple of games against top 4 sides. I think they lost to Melbourne and Geelong by less than 2 or around 2 goals. So they can keep up with the best. And now, even though they probably won't make finals, and I think, they need to win all their games and everything has to go right for them to make finals, they want to do damage to finals sides and the top 8. These are the teams that you have to be scared of, much like Essendon, where they're not going to make finals, but they can shape how the finals looks. And this is going to be, I know every game's a danger game, and I'll say it next week against Melbourne, but this is definitely a danger game for Collingwood. The last time we played Port Adelaide was the one where Scott Pendlebury broke his leg. A bit devastating. We went down by a couple of goals at the end of last season. But obviously, new Collingwood side, and the belief that this club has in each other. We could be down by a couple of goals, and we know that we're going to fight until the end. We're never going to drop our heads, and that does give me a bit of confidence. But what I need to see today is, I need to see this Collingwood team, if they're going to win, and I think they will, they need to come out and they need to say, okay, we've had enough close wins. Here is a 25-point win. Here is the 35-point win against a pretty decent side, because Port Adelaide are nothing to scoff at, despite where they're sitting in their 0-5 start and stuff like that. So we need to kind of put our foot down and put these sort of teams to the sword before we have our run of Melbourne, Sydney, and then Carlton. We don't want to have to rely on one of those games to win, to kind of not even book our top 4 spot, just book a spot in the 8, because we could fall down. Seemingly impossible at the moment, but stranger things have happened. So, in regards to matchups, Port Adelaide don't have a known ruckman. They've got Finlayson and Charlie Dixon going through the ruck. We've got Mason Cox, Darcy Cameron. Should we have brought in Brodie Grundy? That's the kind of the debate, because, he's the ruckman, but probably not really. I think Cameron and Cox can hold their own against these 2 guys. They did against Jackson and Gord all those weeks ago. So I think we have our number in the ruck. Port Adelaide are 17th for hitter, so they're not a good team but in the ruck, but we're not a good centre clearance side. Port Adelaide have got some really good guys. They've got Ollie Wines, Amon as well, Travis Boak around that centre and stuff like that. So they're going to be able to get those clearances. But if we get first hands to the ball, first possession, because apparently they're not that good in the ruck, I think that will go a little bit, it'll definitely help us, but it's just those centre clearances that I'm so just... You need to win centre clearances, right? And Craig McRae would say, and he has said, that our centre clearances are terrible. I think Brodie Grundy back, hopefully next week against Melbourne, will help us. But as for today, you got to make do with what you've got. And if we can at least get first hands to it, we've got, Adams, Pendles when he's running through the middle. We got probably Jack Crisp in there. Everyone is just good. They're very good players, right? It's just that sometimes the ball just doesn't bounce for you, and it's a bit of a pain. But I think today is when we can kind of turn the tides of bad centre clearance work, and just because around the stoppages we're pretty good at clearances. It's just that centre clearance that we need to tidy up on, and I think today might be the day where we kind of just turn it around. And this game, I feel, and now watch us come out and lose or something. But this game, I feel, is a game that sort of turns our season in the sense that we will stamp ourselves as finals contenders today. We welcome back Jordan De Goey after a couple of weeks out with, I think it was a leg injury, thigh injury or something like that. Craig McRae, in one of his pressers, said that it was like a mini preseason for Jordan De Goey and he's fitter and faster. Now, that's exactly what you want to hear, especially, after that Bali incident, then coming out the week later, I can't remember who it burst, it might have been the Kangaroos or something, and not really doing anything. So hopefully, a mini preseason, 3 weeks of mini preseason, whether he stays or goes next year isn't the concern right now. The concern is he is an explosive player that can win us games off of his own boot, and going into finals, that's exactly what you need. We are a better team with Jordan De Goey and Brodie Grundy in the side. So Jordan has to get back to his, I'd love to see him 25 disposals, a handful of clearances, and a goal or two. That's something that I feel like De Goey's been lacking this year. Yes, he kicked that, I think it was an amazing goal against Hawthorn, but from about 50 metres. But still, I think even though he's playing a little bit as a midfielder, he has to become a goal-scoring midfielder, which he has been. Just has to do it a little bit more. Show the competition that there's only one Jordan De Goey, and he is the guy that can turn a game on its head. And we've missed that. We've really missed his explosiveness. So him coming back is a huge, huge get for the team. Another little shout out is Scott Pendlebury's 200th game as captain today. What can you say about this guy? That's just 200 of his 350 games has been of captain. It's just, man, I'm just lost for words. I love this guy so much, and he is the heart and soul of Collingwood. He is a legend, a champion, and there will be a statue built of Scott Pendlebury. Mark my words. It's also going to be a big test for our backline. Charlie Dixon, Georgiades when he's up there, Robbie Gray. Dixon is the one that scares me, a big forward. We're going to come up against big forwards in, Brisbane, against Geelong, Carlton again. So we really got to, it's just going to be hard. We don't have like a Jordan Roughead, a big full-back type. I don't know if Darcy Moore probably plays on Charlie Dixon. I can see Dixon probably kicking 3 or 4 goals. Ultimately, not really helping the team. Kind of like what's who did Charlie Curnow against with Carlton. Didn't he kick like 4 or 5 goals and they still lost? So that's what I can kind of see happening. Just have to nullify them in the air, and we know we're really good at that. We know we're a good defensive side, but just coming against these big forwards scares me. But my predictions for today: Collingwood, hopefully comfortably by 25 to 35 points, and I've got Jack Ginnivan coming back in a big way, kicking 3 goals. But anyway, guys, this has just been my really quick preview. Again, sorry that it's so late. It's been a hectic week for me, but thank you all for your patience, and I'll see you guys at the game. But until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets, and until next time, Double Shackers, I'll see you later.